Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us, from all of us here at the ASAP Network.
What's up, guys? How's it going tonight? I am just sharing this to various, podcast groups around the world because that's how we roll. That's how we roll. But you are watching another episode of Sports Minute. I am Ace from the West Coast. I am joined tonight by, that's right, we call him the man from the Midwest, Brandon Herrera. How you doing tonight, my man?
Hey, I'm doing great. Just chilling. Ready to talk sports, watching sports. Hey, wait for the weather to get warmer here in Minnesota.
And then, of course, we're joined by none other than J-Mac. How you doing tonight, J-Mac?
I can't complain. The weather is great here. It's like 72 today.
No, 72 today.
Right, yeah, it's great. The weather over here is awesome today. It's fantastic. It was sunny all day. I liked it. It was nice.
Yeah, we're about mid 40s, low 50s right now. Cloudy, rainy. Typical Minnesota weather.
All right. Well, let me tell you this. All right, let me tell you something here. Are you guys ready for this?
Okay.
Because I know all of our loyal fans know that every Wednesday.
Oh, I can't wait.
We do a list of top 5 quarterbacks for a certain NFL team. And guess what? This week, we get the pleasure, and I mean the absolute pleasure, of doing the top 5 quarterbacks all time of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So, Jesus Christ.
Right. So with that being said, I don't want to hurt Brandon's feelings. So I'm going to allow Brandon to go first on this one because I don't want him to be disappointed. So I got to have Brandon go first.
All right. So my number 5 quarterback for Jacksonville, whoever they pick this year, that's going to be my number 5. Brian Leftwich, number 4, 24-20 record. 9,000 plus yards passing, 51 TDs, 36 interceptions. Blake Bortles, probably the worst of the 5 that they've had, or whatever. 24-49, but he accumulated just over 17,600 yards passing, 103 touchdowns, second most in the franchise. David Gerard, 39-37 record, 16,000 yards, 1 Pro Bowl appearance, 86 touchdowns, which was third. Mark Brunell, the mighty lefty, 63-54, 25,000 yards, 144 touchdowns, most in the Jags history, and 3 Pro Bowls. So, yeah, that's my awesome top 5.
Yeah. It's interesting though too because when this top 5 list came, I was looking at this. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be tough because I knew that I'm like, man, this top 5 list is going to be rough. I just knew that there really wasn't going to be much out there, and so my number 5. Okay, so my number 5, Brandon, you decided to go with whoever they drafted this year, and yep. I'm like, you know what, that's okay, because it'll be Trevor Lawrence. which they're going to draft this year. But my number 5. Are you ready for this? Drum roll. Chad Henne. Chad freaking Henne at number 5. And why? Just because, I mean, he didn't do really anything spectacular in Jacksonville, but really nobody else did either.
Yeah.
So at that point, really the only virtually person as a Jacksonville quarterback that really did anything was Mark Brunell. That was pretty much it. And David Garrard had one good year, and Byron Leftwich had one good year. But anyways, so that was my number 5 was Chad Henne. My number 4. And when I did this list, I'm looking at this going, I cannot believe that this man actually made a top 5 list because, dude, this is rough. Blake Bortles. So Blake Bortles came in at number 5, and I'm like, or number 4, sorry. It's like, I can't believe that I actually have to put this guy on a top 5 list. Because he should not be a top 5 list of quarterbacks for any team because the dude's just horrible. And then number 3, Byron Leftwich. So Byron Leftwich, he was not known as the hefty lefty. That was actually Jared Lorenzen that was known as the hefty lefty. But Byron Leftwich was still a lefty. We know where he's at now. He's with Tampa Bay. He won a Super Bowl. Congratulations to Byron Leftwich. But, he had a few decent years with Jacksonville. It was nothing spectacular. And then he turned it. So number two, he turned the reins over to this person. And that's right. He turned the reins over to David Garrard. And so David Garrard at that point, everyone's like, is David Garrard the future of Jacksonville? Sorry, wrong. Not the future Jacksonville either. But you still make it at number 2, but feel special, I guess, because it's the Jacksonville Jaguars. But at least you're coming in at number 2 on some list. And then my number 1, Mark Brunell. You have to go with Mark Brunell because when Mark Brunell played, it was the best Jacksonville Jaguars team that they've had. And you can't go that it was the 10-6 team when Blake Bortles was quarterback and they made it to the AFC Championship because that still wasn't the best team that they ever had. It was the team that Mark Brunell led on the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was their best team. So that was my 5. So Jason does not get his feelings hurt, or I should say J-Mac, because I don't want J-Mac to get depressed because, Brandon's gone and I've gone. And I don't want J-Mac sitting there, well, that's not fair. They're leaving me out on the top 5 quarterback list of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know how bad J-Mac wants to do this list.
Can't you tell?
Oh, yeah, I know. He's ready for it. I don't want to hurt his feelings. So without further ado, J-Mac, you get to do your top 5 list.
Okay. Well, you know what this is like, by the way? This is like hot trash, pretty much. That's what it is. Number 5, Gardner Minshew. Number 4, David Garrard. Number 3, Blake Bortles. Number 2, Byron Leftwich. Number 1, Mark Brunell. By the way, I have to throw this in because Chris is our production guy tonight. Do you know how many playoff wins the Jacksonville Jaguars have since 1996?
They have 2.
They have 3 because they've been to the championship twice. Do you know how many the Cowboys have since 1996? 2.
Oh, 2? Okay.
So I just had to throw that in there for Chris. By the way, we talk about how bad Blake Bortles is, but he has 2 playoff wins and Dak Prescott has 1. Anyway, moving on to the next topic.
Yeah, but the one thing that
I'm just doing this because Chris is back there laughing because he knows what I'm saying is true.
No, trust me, I get it too. Because I like ragging on the Cowboys just as everybody else. Trust me, I love it. It's one of my favorite pastimes. I'm just saying that, the one difference is I don't want to give Blake Bortles credit for those playoff wins because that was the no-fly zone.
No doubt. No doubt.
Defense, that was all
if
defense.
They had any other starting quarterback that year, name any of the other 31 starting quarterbacks in the NFL that year, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Mitch Trubisky.
They would have went with Mitch Trubisky. Do you know why?
Case.
Because at least in the second half, the coach wouldn't have got scared to throw the ball. They didn't throw the ball in the second half. They wanted to run it and pound it and do all that. And that's what ended up losing them the game in the end because he got conservative because he didn't want Bortles to throw an interception.
Jared Goff?
Yeah.
I think I'm telling you, right. Any other 31 of the quarterbacks, they would have went to the Super Bowl that year.
So were you guys, when we started doing the study for this team, were you guys shocked?
Kirk Cousins would have taken them to the Super Bowl.
Were you guys more shocked that the stats were the way they are, or did you expect a little bit better or a little bit worse? I mean,
no. To be perfectly honest, going into this top five list, I knew there wasn't going to be much because you can
I knew there wasn't going to be much as like Super Bowl runs and stuff.
You can play it back in your brain and be like, go all the way back from their freaking expansion year and be like, yep, there's not much there. It's not going to be very good. And you can almost come up with the 5 quarterbacks off the top of your head that you want to throw on this list.
Well, Brunell started more games than anyone else. So he's going to have all the records. I mean,
well, until Trevor Lawrence gets there, then he's going to have them in like 3 years.
It won't take long.
No, it won't.
Probably not. But I mean, you think they did make some off-season moves. They got him a few weapons now in Jacksonville, and they got what 11 draft picks this year. I mean, something like that. Yeah,
they could stack up really quick.
They could. They definitely could. It's going to be a wait-to-see game. Are they going to be as good as – well, never mind, because we all know whenever we say something good about Jacksonville, they end up sucking. So
they'll be better than Dallas.
Are you sure?
Well, Dallas doesn't have a defense, so.
Why not? Why not go with it? They'll be better than the Lions.
Well, Jacksonville doesn't have much of a defense either.
Well, I know, but neither does Dallas. Yeah. And the Lions have Jared Goff at quarterback, so.
So really, in reality, this top 5 list wasn't that hard because it's not like you had a bunch to look
disappointing.
Through. Yeah, disappointing.
They had 20 quarterbacks in their franchise history, so
maybe not even that many maybe that have started one game or something, but
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But really, the top 5 they have to throw in there are guys who've actually started at least 10 or more games at least.
Well, you know what's funny is everyone talks about how bad Blaine Gabbert was in Jacksonville. Blaine Gabbert has the 6th most touchdown passes in Jacksonville history. That should tell you how bad that franchise is.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because Blaine Gabbert was just not good. But as much as I know you guys like to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars and their stellar quarterback history that they've had, I don't want to disappoint you guys, but I'm going to move off this topic. So I don't want to hurt your feelings and move off this topic.
All right, I'm out of here.
But do you guys realize, though, that we only have 2 divisions left, and we will have covered every NFL team? So next week,
it's got to get better.
So because next week we're going to jump to the AFC North.
Okay.
Oh, there's like 2 teams we can have an okay. Yeah, Jesus.
So Davis Sparta said number 1 Brunell, number 2 Garrard, number 3 Bortles, number 4 Blaine Gabbert, and number 5 Minshew. I mean,
Minshew mania, whatever. The guy's not great. I'm not going to get into him being great or anything, but he did put up some numbers. Whatever. So,
all right. So let's go ahead and jump into our next topic because this topic I've actually been wanting to talk about the North Texas pitcher, okay. Her name was Hope, all right? And she recorded 21 outs, 21 strikeouts. It was a perfect game. And tell me how.
I was just going to add on. She threw 85 pitches in that game, 63 for strikes, 22 for balls. Didn't give 3 balls to any batter in the entire game.
And
That's
so
that's just insane.
yeah, so my question is this is I don't know if you saw what was posted in the chat, but
Yeah.
my thing is how do you get and I believe it was co MVP or co-player of the week or something like that.
Co-player of the week in her conference.
Yes, the co-player of the week in her conference. So let me ask you how that's even possible when you go 21 outs with 21 strikeouts.
Well,
But-
what was the stats of the other person? Do we know?
Before we
Oh,
go,
I mean, it had to be something like 14 for 18 with 11 home runs and 28 RBIs or
Well, that's what I'm
something.
saying.
yeah, because let me ask you this, okay? How impressive is this? Where do you rank this up there as part of records?
Okay,
And
well, I'll start with this one if you don't mind, Brandon.
Go ahead.
The major league record for strikeouts in a 9-inning game is 20.
Okay.
So
I thought it was
out of-
21 or 22, but
So 20 out of 27 outs is the record. She got 21 strikeouts in 21 outs. Like no one even hit the ball to shortstop. No one hit the ball to second base. Like they struck out.
Right?
do we know how many times they foul balled? I mean,
I mean, okay, I guess if we want to count that as a stat, like, oh, she was great, except they had 3
Well,
foul
I'm
tips
just-
in the game.
I'm just saying,
No, I know
like-
what you're saying, Brandon. I get what you're saying. I'm just like,
To answer your question,
it's ridiculous. Davis bars is the right word. It's ridiculous.
yeah,
No,
but
Ridiculous.
to answer your question about the thing that we were talking about, it wasn't completely player of the week. The most ridiculous thing is she got pitcher of the week.
oh, that is ridiculous.
Right?
That's what did the other pitcher do? I mean, 18 strikeouts.
I mean, this girl
Well-
had a perfect game. No
Yeah,
hits.
You
No
can't
hits.
get any better than that. You can't get any better than that.
No hits,
So-
no walks. She didn't hit
Finch-
anybody.
Finch, I don't think did it or came close.
No.
I mean,
No, but
Finch had
well,
like
Finch
if
came
I-
close to no hitters. I mean, but I don't think she ever struck out 21. I mean,
no. But I think Finch had 3 no hitters and she had like 3 or
Yeah.
4 1-hitters. So I mean, she was really
Yeah.
good for sure.
Well, yeah, Finch was.
I mean,
go of
interesting thing
softball. So,
the interesting thing about it is when you talk about records, especially on this one, it's a record that you can actually say it can't be broke.
yeah. Unless they play
Because-
an extra inning game and then she gets 23, 24. But
Yeah, but
no, you're right. I mean, you can't even do that. Well, I should say you can't, but in video games, it's hard to do. And if you guys remember the old Nintendo game, Bases Loaded, I found a picture and I did 27 strikeouts in a game, in a 9-inning game. But still, I mean, that's video games. Pros can't even do that. Like J-Mac said, 20 strikeouts in a 27-out game. That's phenomenal right there. To do it all by yourself. I mean, the outfielders must have just been bored and walking around like in the Mighty Ducks 3 where the goalie's skating back and forth in the goal. It's like, come on, guys, let me play some here, So,
Well,
props to her, though. I mean,
and that's why my question was, where does this rank on the all-time impressive list?
Oh, it's got to be top 3. I can't put it at number 1 because I think there's always a couple of things that'll be impressive, but it's top 3 for sure.
for women's softball and
Women's softball, it's
yeah.
number 1.
Yeah, it's number 1.
Yeah.
Overall in all sports, God, yeah, it's J-Max. Right off the top of my head, I can't think of 2 that would be better, but I can't name number 1 because there is a couple things that are better. But yeah, this
But
top
that's
3 for sure. Top
That's
3 for sure.
But at what point as a batter in this game in the other team are you getting frustrated because you're like, I think I figured it out? and then you go up there and you strike out again. You're like, God dang it! I could have sworn I had her figured out. I thought I did.
Well, at least they did. Go ahead, J-Mac.
I'd say it'd be like a scene out of the Benchwarmers. Like someone goes up there and they're like, I ticked it. I ticked it.
I just kicked one in front of Salad Girl. Sorry.
But at least they didn't do the Bush League and try to lay down a bunt and to break it up and stuff. I mean, that's.
Does that drive you as crazy as it
Oh,
drives
my
me? By
God.
the way? If a guy's got a no-hitter going to the ninth inning, or a girl for that matter, or the last inning, and you lay down a bunt and use if I was the first baseman, I'd punch you in the face and get thrown out of the game.
The pitcher takes care of that because the next batter he gets thrown at. So
I'm just saying.
But yeah, that's.
Man,
I mean,
as the first baseman, I'd get tossed. I wouldn't even care. I'd get tossed. I wouldn't even tell you. I'd walk over to you and just punch you square in the face.
And then just walk off. I mean,
just be like, don't throw me out. I'm leaving.
I mean, that's the thing is I get it. You're trying to get something going. It's sometimes a bunt will spark the team, but yeah, it's tough to be that guy to lay down a bunt to try to break up a no hitter. Granted, I never had to do that because I've always been a big guy with no speed, so I wasn't laying down many bunts. So
I just wanted to say congratulations to her because that's all, man.
Oh yeah, congratulations by far. And not to get off topic, but the White Sox guy threw a no-hitter today, had a perfect game through 8 or whatever. But, shout out to both the people that, 3 no-hitters now?
But it wasn't 21 strikeouts.
No, it wasn't 21. So, I mean, right. like you guys said and we all said, that's a record that's not going to be broken unless somehow they go to extra innings. But, shout out to her.
But I'll tell you what, I'll tell you this right now. If I have 21 strikeouts in a game, right? If I have 21 strikeouts and I'm pitching a perfect game, and I look at the scoreboard and I just struck out my 21st batter, and I look up and that score still says 0-0, I would be so angry at my team. I'd be like, yo, I asked for one freaking run. I'm sitting here pitching a perfect dang game, and you can't give me one gosh dang run.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, both pitchers in that case got to go back to the dugouts and be like, what's going on here, guys? We got no hitter, shutouts going. Just need one run. That's all we need.
One run.
Yeah.
Right? Well,
and you're right, Davis Barza. That is Bush League to lay down a bunt.
Yeah.
But I've been on the other side of that. If you speaking of playing video games, I've been up 13-0 in a game before and laid down a bunt, and you just get the announcer that's like, okay, there comes a time when this is ridiculous.
Right? Yeah, but so to bring up the other point is that though is think about this. So think if she would have pitched, 21 strikeouts, looked up at the scoreboard, and the score was 0-0. They bring in another pitcher. She struck out everybody, and then that pitcher comes out and allows a run, and they lose.
Sounds like Twins.
Sounds like the extra innings rule in baseball.
Oh my God! Yeah, don't get me started on that.
I don't think any of the three of us want to discuss that extra innings rule.
But right, no, I mean, yeah, definitely congrats to her. A record that's not going to be broken. All it could do is be tied.
Right. All right. So now we're going to jump into our next topic, which is the Masters. And the reason why I'm jumping into the Masters is because we actually had our first Japanese-born player win the Masters. Or I should say a major tournament. It's the first time they've done it. So Hideki's actually came out and won it. So with this being the first Japanese player to come out and win a major, what does that mean for the game of golf? How big is this? And Brandon, I'll start with you.
I think it's big. I definitely think it's big for Japan golf because now everybody knows, hey, he did it. We can do it, so let's practice. So it'll help the game. Anytime there's a first country to do something or the first person from that country to do something, it's always a big feat. So I think it's going to help out golf. It's maybe not Tiger Woods like where he started coming on and everybody started watching golf because of Tiger, I mean, the ratings for overseas, yeah, I'll probably jump up some since he won it and see what he can do in his second major tournament, bouncing back from this. But no, congrats to him too, being the first Japan guy to win the Masters or win a major in general. So good luck to him. Hope he has a great career.
J-Mac, what do you think?
I think it's going to do wonders. I'm always for guys coming in and being able to do things, first times for other countries, for minorities, all that stuff. So I think that I think it's great. I think it'll do wonders for the game of golf. And to hit on Brandon's point, like Tiger came in, everyone started watching. But this will bring a whole new audience to the game of golf, and that's never a bad thing. That's never a bad thing for sure.
All right, so when we look at this, okay, and I don't know how many rounds you guys got to watch of it or whatever, but I know as I'm watching this, I have my normal guys that I root for. I usually root for like Justin Rose and Scheffler and Dustin Johnson. Those are the typical guys that I sit there and I see myself rooting for. Or when Tiger Woods was there, I rooted for him or McIlroy. But when I saw Hideki winning the Masters, I actually caught myself rooting for him. Like I did. Because I'm kind of a history guy. So as I'm watching this, I'm like, wow, we can see we're about to see history. This can happen. Hideki can come out and win this and make history right here. Now, on the final 18, he struggled a little bit on the final round on the back nine. He struggled, and Scheffler was starting to make a comeback, and I'm like, oh man, don't do it. And it was getting really, really close at the end. It seemed like it was getting close, but I guess when you put it together in reality, I guess a lot of people would say it wasn't that close. But still, when you allow somebody to come in to 2 strokes of you, that's close enough. I mean, that's close enough. So for me, it was just interesting that I caught myself rooting for him. That somebody that I never normally would, but it's because it's part of history and I want to see it. And whenever you see history, it's always big to watch history and see it happen. So this to me is like a major step forward in golf. And maybe in other countries, it'll start becoming a big thing too, because it shows them it's possible to achieve it and it can be done.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those where, I mean, yeah, watching history be made in any sport, to be able to catch it live and remember where you're at that moment in time, it's always remarkable. I mean, I hate to throw out negative stuff, but the O.J. Simpson car chase, we all probably know where we were at the time when that broke into I think it was the next playoff game. So, but yeah, for history purposes, yeah, it was, I caught a little bit of the Masters, and wasn't it Rose that kind of blew up and started choking down the road there? So left the door open. I mean, that's one thing with the Masters. You can't leave the door open because somebody's going to sneak up behind you. And like you said, Ace, 2 strokes, yeah, might not mean much to the pro golfers, but that, even though it's the last hole, that 2 strokes can disappear really quick.
All it takes is one mistake.
Yep.
That's all it takes. One mistake. If you shank a ball and it goes in the water and you have to take a drop, guess what? That's another stroke right there.
Yep.
That's stroke. That's going to cost you. If you shank it in the rough and it takes you a few strokes, you lose another stroke right there. And so just the littlest mistakes in golf will absolutely kill you.
Yeah, just ask Tim Cup. what the mistakes cost you. I mean, granted, it was a movie, but how many times did he put in the water where he had just all I had to do was lay up, but he wanted to
This
go
is the
for it.
last ball you got in the bag, Roy.
It's all in the
Oh, that
hip.
announcer cracked me up, though, too. Come on, somebody tackle him. Tell him he doesn't need to shoot from there.
It's all in the hips. Yeah, it's all in the hips.
Oh, now we're going Happy Gilmore. Okay.
Right. I will say this though, Jordan Spaeth. I do want to give a shout out to him. That he's chasing that. He's chasing that green jacket too. So maybe
Spaeth hasn't won it yet?
Spaeth is chasing that green jacket. He's chasing it. He has not won. The last tournament he won was his first tournament win in 4 years.
Okay.
So he's kind of losing streak. He's chasing that.
Did you catch any of the interview after he won it, the Masters, and what one of the questions was they asked him about? The interviewer asked him. We know Tiger Woods slept in the green jacket after his first win. Are you going to do the same thing? And he said something like no or something. So, what about you guys? You guys, fantasize about winning championships. You get that first championship at whatever sport you want. Are you sleeping with that trophy, or are you staying up all night just glaring at it? Or
I'm sleeping with that thing, man. I'm sleeping with that thing. I'll tell you what was so. And I know it kind of sounds funny, right? But of all things, so I played slow pitch softball for years, right?
Okay.
And I had made it to like 5 or 6 championships. Okay. Now, for some reason, every time we got to a champion, you can call us choke artist or whatever. But the first 5 championships that we made it to, we lost every single one. And some of them were just heartbreaking fashion. I mean, just walk-offs or errors or whatever, just heartbreaking fashions. Okay. Finally, the 6th time in a championship game, we came out and we won the championship. I got my shirt, I got my sweatshirt, we got the trophy, and I'm like, this sucker's coming home, and I'm wearing the sweatshirt and the shirt to bed, and I'm sleeping in this thing that says champions because I've been waiting for that for so long, and I finally got it, and it said champion. And I'm like, yes, sir, I am a champion.
Of slow pitch softball on the Oregon coast.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
No, I know. No, that's a good story. But the thing about slow pitch softball sometimes it bothers me is you get these guys out there that think there's like minor league scouts up in the stands,
Oh, yeah.
and they're just like, oh, I'm the best softball player. You're like, bro, you play slow pitch softball on the Oregon coast. No one cares.
Yeah.
Especially no one in like Florida, California,
Right.
New York. But we've had some bad softball games too. Trust me.
I've been a part of some bad ones too, and
Well,
played against teams that shouldn't.
When you get to a tournament and they're like, you guys got a good shot in this, you bring players from Washington, from Olympia, you bring these guys down, these great outfielders and big hitters. You're like, oh, we're going to smoke these teams. And then the team shows up and they bat around and they bat around and they bat around and they bat around. And then, you look up at the scoreboard and you're losing 68-11 in slow pitch softball.
Yeah.
Well, just to say, that first inning when you look up and you're losing 26-0 after the top of the first, you're like, this is dumb. And then you just get smoked and you realize that it just wasn't in the cards. So, we've been on the end of a few of those, and it's just, but I don't want to go too far off track. We have some topics to cover here. Some great stories, fun stories. It was all fun. But going into our next topic, we're going to say what do you think male athletes can do to drive visibility for the women's sports? So we're talking about, WNBA, the LPGA, because as you see, when we're sitting here, we're talking about the Masters and we're talking about the PGA, but we never we never hear anybody talking about the LPGA and how good golfers they have. You don't hear people really talking about the WNBA, the female professional football league. People don't talk about that. So the thing is what can us males do to drive that visibility to show everybody that there's female sports out there too? And J-Mac, I'll start with you.
Well, I, for one, am on board for everyone signing a petition and us taking a stand and making softball the next big sport in America. Because you watch softball, it's as entertaining, if not more entertaining to me than baseball is. Like, those girls are amazing. And they have played their entire lives. They practice hard. They put in more time than the boys have. And I'm sorry, but you watch those girls, like, they have no mercy. And remember, they can do the splits usually and stuff too. So you talk about getting thrown out at first base. I mean, it's amazing. So what can we do? We can talk about it more, and we can make it more mainstream, and we can be with the driving force and be the ones that are like, look, yes, NFL, NBA, MLB, it's amazing. Amazing stuff. Obviously, professionals getting paid. But have you seen this? Have you seen this, because there's a professional softball league. I don't know if anyone knows that. There's a professional women's softball league, fast pitch.
I did not know
and that's the thing. Like, it exists. And the sad truth of the whole thing is, and I heard someone put this in perspective of the WNBA. When is the last time that you've heard someone be like, you know what? I can't really come to your barbecue tonight because I'm going to watch the Minnesota Lynx play.
You don't.
I mean, we laugh, we snicker and we laugh because we haven't heard anyone say that, and that's the sad reality of women's sports, and it shouldn't be that way. It really shouldn't, because we have to remember that they have practiced just as hard. They've earned this just the way the guys have. And honestly, it's really like the one piece in our country that's missing, because women have come a long way as far as everything else, and sports just hasn't seemed to catch on yet. But I mean, our women's national soccer team could beat our men's team. Our men's team sucks. Have you watched them play? They are awful. Okay, the girls would smoke them. They'd probably beat them 9-0. To be honest, I mean,
that would be interesting to see.
And that's the kind of thing we need, though. Mm-hmm. Someone needs to make that stand and say, all right, so for the NBA, we're gonna coincide the NBA and the WNBA during All-Star weekend. We're gonna have the women All-Stars play against the men All-Stars. Think about how that game would go. Because it's an All-Star game. You can't be doing the normal stuff you do in a league game. It's an All-Star game. Let's face it.
Right.
Now, if they intertwine the teams where it's women and men together, might work out a little bit more than just having all-star women versus all-star men. I mean,
hey, I'm fine with that too. Whatever it takes. You know?
It's fine.
But I think go ahead, Ace.
Are you sure? Because
go ahead.
All right.
No, go ahead.
Because the interesting thing about it too is, think about the NCAA women's college basketball. Okay, this year we had Arizona and Stanford in the championship game. Okay, so nobody knew. There was a lot of people that didn't know that Stanford, that was their first championship game, and nobody knew that was Arizona's first win on the women's side. Now, the interesting thing about that is that why people were talking about the NBA. I'm sitting there going, okay, so you guys are talking about how good these NBA games are. You guys are watching that. I'm sitting here and I'm watching history. Okay, I'm watching the women's college basketball championship game, and I'm watching them put on a show. And I mean, it was an absolute show. It was a banger. It was back and forth, and I'm like, this is history right here. One of these teams, either Arizona's winning their first one in a long time, or Stanford is winning their first one ever. So it was going to happen one way or another. History was happening. And so while people are sitting there watching the NBA, I'm watching this. And people are going, oh, are you watching this Lakers game? You watching this? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm watching history being made right now. I don't know. I don't care about that. Like, yeah, I'll watch NBA. That's fine. But when history is about to be made, especially in women's sports, I'm watching it. I'm all for it because I want to see the history being made. And so for us as men, if we're going to sit here, we're going to talk about, the female sports. And then we see athletes like LeBron James and different people who can come out and be like, hey, we should really pay attention to the WNBA. Okay, if you're going to come out and say it, then you need to be part of the solution. You need to be part of the solution. And you can throw some money out there and be like, you know what? I'm going to help you advertise. I'm going to do whatever you have to do to get the publicity out there. So if you're going to talk about it, be a part of the solution. That's all I can say. And it starts with us.
Do you know who was going to do that?
Kobe Bryant, yeah.
Kobe Bryant.
So as being
the WNBA would have been huge
with Kobe
if
Bryant.
If we had not lost Kobe Bryant. It would have blown up, guaranteed.
Because I'm telling you now, just being a part of Sportsminute now, I understand we're a tiny network, but just coming out here at least once a week on Wednesdays on Sportsminute and touching on female sports, talking about female sports, and our viewers, when they hear it, that's helping the problem. That's helping it because we're talking about it and we're like, get out there and go watch. So we're trying to do our part. Yeah, we're not guys who have millions and millions of dollars that can go out there and be like, I'm going to help you advertise. We can't do that because we don't have that type of money. But we can help by talking about it and trying to be part of the solution. So Brandon, I know you were going to say something.
No, you actually kind of touched base on what I was going to say at the end there. Is they got to start advertising big time. I mean, they got to, pick an athlete or two or three and start marketing them, in the WNBA or, even women's softball, the pro league or the football league. I mean, they got even golf. They got to start marketing their ladies. And yeah, you're right. The male counterparts should be a part of that. Be like, hey, I want to be a part of this. Let's, take whoever and let's market them. Let's get them the Gatorade ads, the Wheaties ads, Nike, get all those, they got to start. It starts with them. Yeah, it starts with the fans too, like us talking about it every Wednesday. It'd be cool if we could even show clips or, show a live game once in a while on our network. I mean, but there's copyrights and all that, but they definitely need to get the word out there. I think it starts not just with the fans, but it starts with the leagues themselves and start promoting these players, start advertising them, start getting them the commercial contracts, the endorsements, get their faces out there. Because, yeah, I mean, the last basketball game I went to professionally was the Lynx game. I had a blast, because they're out there playing for the love of the game. There's so much fundamentals. It's not just up and down dunk, up and down dunk, up and down dunk. A deep three here or there. They're actually playing for the love of the game. Softball's the same way. You watch, J-Mac's been saying it. You watch these girls play. They put the work into it.
And here's the thing, though, too. Touching on that is when you're talking about they're doing it for the love of the game, the one thing you don't see in female sports a lot, the one thing you don't see is, well, this team offered me this amount of money, so I'm going to hold out until I get the contract I want. You don't see that. You see them go, this is what they're offering me. Okay, that's fine. I'll take it. You see that.
And that's the whole thing. I mean, my aunt, when professional women's football started up, Minnesota had two teams doing a brainstorming tour. I went to quite a few of her practices and games, and yeah, they put their heart and soul into wanting that league to develop and be into something. So, Yeah, the women they put work in. I mean, you couldn't tell by them hitting if it was a guy or girls hitting. I mean, they hit, they made the sound. So, but yeah, I think mostly it's going to start with advertising. They're going to have to start pushing these girls out there, getting their name out there. But JMac, yeah, I would definitely love to sign a petition for get women's softball on the map. I mean, we just saw history being made a few days ago. I'd love to see more history being made. I mean, I know your girls are playing softball, so it's got to be close to your heart. So,
Oh man,
and you enjoy watching them. I mean, we enjoy watching our kids do their things. I mean, my son's in soccer. I enjoy watching him, play soccer and baseball. At his young age, I can't imagine what you are feeling with your girls making varsity and all that. So.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the feeling is indescribable. You're so like she had her first varsity game yesterday, and you're so scared for them. You're like they don't know, and it's just, but it is But I tell her all the time, like, this is an opportunity that you will never forget for the rest of your life, no matter what happens. No one could take this away from you.
Nope.
Remember,
and they say that in high school sports, especially football, the bond that kids make during football with the buddies. And, I mean, we make it in baseball, basketball, and track and volleyball and all. They get that bond. They grow up with these kids. They play pretty much 4 years together, and then they go their separate ways, So, yeah, it's a bond that can't be broken.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to our next topic, which our next topic is just JMac Spotlight Players. So, JMac, who do you have for us today?
Well, who I have for us today is a young lady by the name of Monica Abbott. And she no longer plays. She's currently retired. She last played in 2018 for the United States women's team. But listen to her accolades in her career. This is all just like national team stuff before I get into her career stats and everything else. But so just national team, she won silver medal, gold. That was in the World Championships. World Cup of Softball, it was silver, gold. So 2005 was silver, and then 6, 7, 9, 10, 17, and 18 was all gold. And then Pan American Games, 2007, 2018 was gold. Canada Cup, it was silver, gold. So then you get into, she went on to play professionally for the professional league, which, by the way, is the National Pro Fast Pitch Softball League. These are her career numbers. So she played from 2007 to 2017 in those games. She was 126 and 41. Jeez. She had 112 complete games. She had 56 shutouts. She pitched 1,108 innings. In those 1,108 innings, she gave up 617 hits. She gave up 210 runs, 161 earned runs. She walked. Now, remember, 1,100 innings, okay? She walked 208 batters in 1,100 innings in her career. She struck out 1,626 players. Her career ERA is 1.01.
Jeez.
I mean, think about this. Like, this is what I'm talking about, okay? Those are numbers from a girl who played for 10 years professionally. Those are her numbers after 10 years. If this was a man in Major League Baseball, every network that exists would be anointing him the new pitching king of Major League Baseball. Like, he would be the next Nolan Ryan, the next Cy Young. Like, this would be the guy, right? And have you ever heard Have you ever heard of Monica Abbott before tonight?
No, I'm just looking her up now. Just
and that's exactly what we were talking about. That's why I brought this up, because if this was a guy in a guy's sport, he would have already been. They would have already said, "Oh, he's a surefire Hall of Famer."
Well, what about her Japanese career? I mean,
yeah, I know. You could even talk about that. It's crazy. The things that she
finished first in 6 seasons out of how many she pitched over there. I mean,
right. And did you look at 2015 for the Chicago Bandits when she went 16-1?
Yeah.
Had 15 complete games, 13 shutouts, pitched 112.1 innings, struck out 175 batters, and had a .31
ERA
for the season.
6 runs. Yeah.
Gave up 6 runs all year.
And she had 2 saves.
Yes. And here's the other thing about these girls. These professional men getting paid $20+ million a year pitch every 5 days.
Yep.
About 32, 33 games a year, right? And they sometimes have to take a day off because their arms are sore or they're hurting.
Yep.
These girls don't take days off.
Nope.
I
mean, she had in 2014 she had 10 wins, but she didn't start a game. It looks like she came in relief the whole time. And still put up phenomenal numbers. I mean,
it's crazy. It's crazy. And so then in college, this is the thing I was talking about where they don't take games off. In college, she started 47 games as a freshman. She started 63 her senior year. 45 complete games, 29 shutouts in her senior year. She had every season she struck out 500 batters in college. College, she pitched 1,440 innings and struck out 2,440 players.
Jesus.
Tell me if this was a guy, he would be a surefire Hall of Famer. Everyone would be talking about him.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, 50 wins, 45. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, the games, wow.
So, this is just what we were talking about. This is a small sample size. It's one player, but that's what the stuff we're talking about. This is what needs to get out there.
She pitched the first perfect game in Olympic history, I see. 5-time Japanese Softball League MVP. Your guys are exactly right. 4-time All-American. But yeah, if she's not up there with Jenny Finch, I don't know who else would be. It's
crazy. It's crazy to me. It really is.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna jump into our final thing of the night, which is always Ace's mini game. And we've been doing trivia. That's what we've been doing. We've been doing trivia. And so last week, J-Mac picked, for some reason, the Arizona Cardinals, and he was able to get the victory in that one. So since you got the victory in that one, again, J-Mac, you get to go ahead and pick the category again. So go ahead and say another NFL team.
Oh, we have to go on the NFL team? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go with let's see who's in front of me right here.
Jacksonville, probably.
No, God, no Jacksonville. No.
He's going to pass on the Jacksonville.
I'm going to pass on that.
Let's pass on Jacksonville too.
Yeah. Let's go with Detroit.
Ooh,
Detroit Lions.
A little NFC Central. Okay.
All right, so we got some Detroit Lions trivia up in here. So since J-Mac picked the topic, Brandon, you get the choice. You want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
All right. J-Mac, your first question. What city did the Detroit Lions first call home?
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth, Ohio. Yes, that is the correct answer.
Are you serious?
That is the correct answer.
I don't even know why that was in my head, Brandon. I have no idea.
So you pulled that one out of somewhere we're not going to talk about, huh?
Yeah, I don't even.
Brandon, this question comes to you.
Oh, I might want to just raise a white flag right now. He's pulling answers like that.
What player supposedly put a 50-year curse on the Detroit Lions?
Ooh. What player with 50-year curse? I'm going to go I'm going to say Barry Sanders after he retired.
And that is not the correct answer.
No.
Do you have any guesses?
Bobby Lane.
Bobby Lane's the correct answer.
No kidding. Come on.
I didn't even know he played for Detroit.
Yeah, that is a correct
Well,
answer.
I was going to say somebody that did play for Detroit. I'm like, you know what? This is probably one of Ace's, curveballs here. It's like, okay, Barry Sanders.
Wow.
Right.
So,
Okay.
all right. So,
Oh
Brandon,
my God.
Brandon, the
No,
next
it's J-Max. It's J-Max.
Oh, it is. It is
Yep.
J-Mac's question.
He's up 2-0. Yep.
All right. So, J-Mac, your question is, what Motown singer tried out for the Lions in 1970?
J-Mac, if you get this right, I'm just leaving.
Yeah, I would too, honestly, if I get this. Motown singer tried out for the Lions in 1970. Smokey Robinson. I don't know.
And that is not correct.
All right, 1970s. Tito Jackson. I don't know.
No, and the correct answer was Marvin Gaye.
Oh, do you want to? Oh man, I don't even want to tell you that I for some reason Marvin came to my mind, but I couldn't remember his last name.
It did. Marvin came to my mind too, and I'm like, no.
Looks like Brandon is going to get. You're going to get a point here, Brandon.
Oh,
I can already
okay.
tell you. This one's going to be easy. Which Lions wide receiver was nicknamed Megatron?
Charles Johnson.
What?
No, it's not Charles. Oh, it's
No,
Johnson.
that's not right. That is not the
Johnson.
correct answer.
It's not. Go ahead. It's Johnson.
J-Mac.
It's Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, it's Kelvin Johnson. It's oh my gosh, Brandon, you had a shot.
Oh my God. Oh, Calvin Johnson. God.
You had a shot.
Oh, I knew it was Johnson. I mean, of course, I had to say one of like 6 Johnsons. That.
All right, so J-Mac, what were the Lions originally called?
I don't know. Like I said, I picked Portsmouth out. The Flyers. I honestly don't know. I have no idea.
And that is not the correct answer. So, Brandon, you got.
I'm going to say they've always been called the Lions. They had never changed their name.
Well, that would not be right.
Well, I know, but
Yeah, the correct
could have been a
answer.
curveball.
The correct answer was the Spartans.
Oh, okay. Michigan State. Yeah, I get it.
All makes sense. Portsmouth Spartans.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't pull that one out.
I want to know how you got the Portsmouth anyway.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that rattles around in my brain from early NFL days and where teams came from originally. I have no idea where I learned it. I learned it at some point in my life, and it just stuck.
I didn't even know that.
And
Just
the
like-
Bobby Lane. How'd you get the Bobby Lane?
He was a player for, you said 50 years, and Bobby Lane, I think, played in the 60s or 70s, and I didn't even know he played for the Lions, but I'm like, well, I don't know, some guy that played back then, and he was the only one I could think of, so.
I was trying to think of some Packer that might have did the 50-year curse or Bears and
So, whose question was this? I completely forgot.
it's mine now.
It's Brandon's question. So, Brandon, your
Give
question.
me another easy one that I can.
I gave you an easy
I
one.
know you did. You did. I said the wrong C one, so.
All right. So, Brandon, what is the fewest yards the Lions ever allowed in a game?
Fewest yards. I'll go 50 yards.
And that is not correct. J-Mac, you want to take a shot at it?
68.
The correct answer was 14. In 1940, the Lions held the Chicago Cardinals to 14 yards.
Oh, yeah, I remember that game. That was,
Right.
Great game. The final score was 3-0. Yeah.
All right, so J-Mac, your question is, how long was the field in the team's first playoff game?
How long was the field?
Yeah.
Well, that would have been back in the 50s or 40s or whatever the heck it was. 90 yards.
That is not correct. Brandon, you want to take a shot?
I'm gonna say about 60 yards. They probably had to play one way the whole game.
The correct answer is actually 80. 80 yards. All right. So, Brandon, this question comes to you. I think you'll get this one. I think
you thought that the last one too, and
well, I figured you would have.
well, I got half a point. I just say Johnson.
All right. So your question is, how many times did Detroit Lions running back Barry Sanders make the Pro Bowl during his 10-year NFL career?
Ooh, there wasn't many running backs, but I'll go 10.
And you are correct.
He deserved every single one of them.
Yeah, he every single one of his years he made the Pro Bowl every single year. So Brandon, you are now on the board.
I'm not getting shut out.
All right. J-Mac, which of Detroit's first round draft picks had only 3 tackles during his rookie season?
First round draft picks, 3 tackles. Robert Porcher.
That is not correct.
Oh. God, because they drafted a lot of offensive recently. I don't know. I can't even name any defensive players. Oh, Dominic Sue. I know he didn't get drafted there, but
No, you're gonna laugh at this one, but the correct answer is actually Calvin Johnson. I threw a curveball in there for you. And so that's why every time Brandon's like, well, I don't know, they kept drafting a lot of offensive players. I'm like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? I was waiting to see if he was gonna actually say it.
God. Yeah. 3 tackles, huh? Nice.
Nice. All right, Brandon, this question comes to you. Who was the first Lion elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Even though I know it's probably not right, I'm going to go Barry Sanders.
No, J-Mac.
Oh, I know.
Night Train Lane.
Oh.
That is not correct either.
Oh.
The correct answer was Dutch Clark. Right, you remember him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great games. Hell of a hitter.
All right, so J-Mac, what shade of blue is used for the Lions uniforms?
Tough. Lion blue.
And that is not the correct answer. So,
Honolulu blue.
you are correct.
Now, okay, this is the only reason why I said it.
Correct.
Because one of the sports announcers here at local Minnesota radio, he's a diehard Lions fan, and he says, "Oh, what are we going to wear the road whites or the Honolulu blue when we make it to the Super Bowl?" He says it every year. So that's the only reason why I said it. Didn't know there was even a color.
So that was just a flat out guess. That's funny.
Well, it was kind of a guess, but jokingly guess because of what the announcer or the disc jockey says here all the time.
Well, it's 3-2 now. So Brandon, you're back in the game. So James, no, this is Brandon's questions actually. Which player died during a game on October 24th, 1971?
A game. I will pass on that one. Couldn't even tell you. Couldn't even guess one. It's not Calvin Johnson, so.
Charles James. I don't know.
That is not correct. The correct answer is Chuck Hughes.
I actually heard about it, but I couldn't remember his name.
All right, J-Mac, the question is to you. Which player holds the team record for career interceptions?
Is it Night Train Lane?
That is not right.
Oh. Dang it. The one guy who can pitch, I can't even think of his name right now. Oh, God dang it. Oh. I'm going to have to pass again. The guy I'm thinking of, I can't even think of his name.
So my second guess would have been Emil Tunnel.
No,
the correct answer was Dick LeBeau.
Oh, no, not even who I was. I was thinking
That makes
somebody
sense.
more recent.
All right, this question goes to Brandon. What years did the Lions win back-to-back NFL championships?
Oh, come on.
NFL championships. Some reason it's not coming to mind. I'm going to say never, but I know that's not right.
Do you want to take a guess?
Fine. We'll go 68 and 69.
Mm-mm.
No, that was like the Super Bowl era.
The Super Bowl era, yeah.
And this is championships, so that
Yep.
wasn't.
Yeah, that's what was throwing me off.
J-Mac.
Go ahead, bud.
56 and 57.
No, the correct answer was 52 and 53.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that honestly, I had that rolling around, but I only picked 56, 57 because 57 is the last time they won a playoff game. Or they won one since then or some crap like that. They haven't done much since 57.
All right. Whose question is this?
Mine.
Yeah, J-Max.
Who owns the franchise sack record?
Ooh, franchise sack record for the Lions. Well, the sack's only been a stat since '83, so I'll say Robert Porcher, but I don't think that's right.
That is the correct answer.
Pulled another one out of who knows where.
I just remember him from the '90s. He was a great defensive player.
Well, I was going to say Dominic Sue, so because I know he was.
You got it wrong anyway. But
Well, I would have got it wrong. I know.
so Brandon, this question comes to you. Which wide receiver broke Jerry Rice's single season record of 1,848 receiving?
Come on.
His record for yards?
Yeah.
Calvin Johnson.
Yes, you got it that time.
I would have been pissed if you would have said like Herman Moore or something. That was the other guy I was thinking of.
So it's 4-3, J-Mac.
Yeah.
3. So J-Mac, your question is, how many consecutive 100-yard games did Barry Sanders have in 1997?
1997 would have been 11.
That is not correct.
Dang it.
Brandon, you got a chance.
He went 11. I'll go. Oh, God. Did he do it, though? I'll go 12.
That is not correct. The correct answer is 14. I'm guessing you were going to say that?
I was thinking all 16. I'm like, no. And then I was thinking, well, didn't they just talk about that being broken or supposed to be broken this past couple of years? And
All right, J-Mac, this could be for the win. Which player led the league in field goal accuracy in 1956?
1956? I don't know. Lou Graza?
No, that is not the correct answer.
I honestly would have crapped my pants if that was correct.
oh,
And that one only came from the fact that the top kicker in the nation in college football is given the Lou Graza Award. So,
I don't even got to guess. No, I'll pass. I don't even have a guess.
Bobby Lane.
oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me.
43 still.
This question's for you. How many players did the team play How many players did the team play against the Green Bay Packers on December 4th, 1932?
What? How many people are dressed up?
Yeah, so how many total players did they play?
I'll go 30.
And that is not correct.
Of course not.
13.
That is not correct. You were close. It was 11.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly was gonna say 11, but I only said 13 because I didn't hear the 1930 part at first, and then I remembered the kicker and the punter, and that's where I got the 13 from. But yeah, but back then they did it all. So
yeah, that is true.
Oh boy. Let's see. Well, geez, like I'm running out of Lions questions here. All right, we did that one. Okay, here's one, and this one goes to who?
J-Mac.
J-Mac. Who owns the franchise record for longest run from scrimmage?
well, there's the obvious answer.
There's the obvious answer.
There's the obvious answer. But I honestly can't think of another Lions running back that's ran that far before. So I'm going to say Barry Sanders, but that's the obvious answer.
And that one is not correct.
Right. And I kind of knew that already.
God dang it. Is it more recent than, well, but I can't think of their most recent running back that they've had. God. Yeah, if you would have said somebody else, I was going to take Barry Sanders. Adrian Peterson. I can't think of another running back right now.
No. Bob Horschenschmeier.
Yeah, I was going to get that one.
That was a heck of a run by him, too. I mean, so Bob Horschenschmeier. Wow.
Right.
This is pulling these out of his.
So, Brandon, this question goes to you. We're running out of questions here, so if we run out of questions, I guess J-Mac wins by default.
Well, okay. Yeah, he's up by one, so.
So, let's see. Brandon, what initials did the Lions add to their left sleeve of their uniforms in 2017?
God dang it. I'm going to go MF.
No.
That's not right. No.
Not right. J-Mac.
BF.
Yeah. No, that's not the correct answer. The correct answer is WCF for William Clay Ford.
Yep.
Oh, we got the upright, J-Mac.
We knew it was a Ford.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to think of a player, too, and I'm like, no, it has to be Ford. And yeah.
Well, let's see. Let's see. I'll just throw in some random ones here to see. Whose question is this?
J-Max.
All right. What team was originally named the New York Titans?
Oh, that's the New York Jets.
Ding, 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 ding. We got a winner. So I had to
They
throw
had those awful brown and blue uniforms. It was terrible.
So I had to throw a random question in there because I ran out of Lions questions that were in front of me.
Well, I think J-Mac was still up by one, so.
He was. So
Yeah.
that put him at 5. So right there, that's the winning question.
Woo!
So I guess the Lions, that didn't pan out too well.
Gross.
Yep, that awesome receiver, Charles Johnson,
I could not believe he missed that question.
God.
I could not believe he missed it.
Did they have a receiver, Charles Rogers?
Yes.
Yep. It was a huge bust.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, Charles jumped in. I knew the last name was Johnson, and yeah.
Which, honestly, once you said them, like, there's no way he said that. There's no way he just
Well, and I stopped myself, too. I was like, Charles. I was like, no, that's not his name. I was like, his last name's Johnson. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's Charles Johnson because that's the only combo that popped into my head.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching, but Brandon, you got 30 seconds to say whatever it is you want to say.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Tune next week. We'll probably talk more women's sports like we like to do, and another great week of baseball ahead. Got the draft in 2 weeks, roughly a week and a half, something like that. So, yeah, tune in.
We'll have another trivia next week also, and hopefully J-Mac will pick a pretty solid team.
Hopefully.
Well, that was pretty
Jesus
solid.
Christ.
But all right, J-Mac, you got 30 seconds.
I just want to tell everyone, one thing. I got 2 things. First thing is on May 12th in Stewartstown, Pennsylvania, ASAP is helping sponsor a golf tournament. So if you get a chance to check that out. We'll have some great prizes there to give away to people. We'll get some shout outs. We'll get some live look-ins on the air from the guy running it. So check that out. And number 2, check us out tomorrow. The Four Bros Radio Show is going live at 4. It'll be 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern. We're going to cover the first 5 picks of the WNBA draft.
Oh, that's tomorrow?
Yeah.
And don't forget next week. Everyone's been waiting for it because last time it ended up being a triple threat. It won't be this time. It's going to be Ace versus J-Mac. 1-on-1.
Nope. I just heard Daniel Bryan's getting involved.
Yeah. It's going to be 1-on-1 in a debate. What side are you taking? You going Ace? Or are you going J-Mac?
I want to know. I want to get a preview of what Mama Barber thinks. I want to know which way she's going. We got to get her to comment on this.
So tune in next Tuesday, and we'll be ready to go.
Ooh,
sounds great.
It's going to be a great debate. All right,
sir.
And we'll catch you all next time on Sports.